So as you know, San Francisco is an incredibly crowded but vibrant city that holds 800,000 people and hundreds of thousands of pet guardians, with estimations around 100 to 150,000 dog guardians. And besides just a beautiful city and great place to live, we also have access to incredible places of incredible open areas such as Crissy Field and Ocean Beach and Fort Funston. And one of the things that is important to understand about pet guardianship is that people don't come into the adoption center here or anywhere and get a dog or cat. What they're getting is a relationship with an animal. And the beautiful part about having a relationship with a dog is that it takes you out of your element. You get to know your streets really well. You know every nook and cranny as you walk them 2 or 3 times a day. You get to understand and meet your neighbors. But you also are taken to these open places like Fort Funston, and you see the beauty of the ocean and the beach and what the GGNRA has been preserving in a way that you don't if you just visit it every now and then. Not only are these places invaluable for the health and welfare of our dogs, they're invaluable for the health and welfare of the people who go there with their dogs.
The land and sea around the San Francisco Bay Area offers a rare combination of urban life and natural beauty, providing recreation and inspiration for millions who live and visit here. For many generations, people have enjoyed neighborhood activities like walking, hiking, birding, and dog walking in open spaces like Crissy Field, Land's End, Ocean Beach, Marin Headlands, Muir Beach, and Rancho Corral de Tierra.
Establishing an urban recreation area, the GGNRA, was unique. And San Francisco has a lot of uniqueness. This is just one of them. And you know, it's really wonderful to see people come from all over the country and other countries and see dogs frolicking in the ocean right below the Golden Gate Bridge. Like, that's a beautiful sight. Like, what a way to enjoy the city and the residents. And it's a reflection of the joy that residents have, not only with their animals here in the city of St. Francis, but also how they value this open space. Like, it is a part of our family, it's a part of our experience to live here in San Francisco, to have a dog and to be able to enjoy this open area.
According to the National Park Service, around 15 million people a year enjoy these recreational opportunities in these areas, on federal lands officially known as the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, or GGNRA. As the name implies, the GGNRA is not a typical national park or monument, but is a congressionally designated urban recreation area. These federal lands represent a significant recreational resource for the residents of the San Francisco Bay Area, which is one of the most densely populated urban areas in the United States, with over 7 million people.
So in the 1970s, Congress created the Golden Gate National Recreation Area with coastal land in San Francisco and elsewhere, which was an amazing thing. It's really helped to preserve this land, to steward it, to put it under the management of the federal government. The National Park Service plays a very, very important role in our region today. It is critical recreation space for all sorts of people, both residents and visitors, and it is public land. It's under the jurisdiction of the federal government, not of local government, but we're really one region, and it's really important for local and state and federal, for all of us to work together to make sure that open space is publicly accessible. Because to members of the public, most people don't care if it's local, state, or federal. They just know that it's public land and they want to be able to use it.
The GGNRA is undergoing a public land use process to determine where dogs can walk off-leash, on-leash, and where no dogs will be allowed to walk on GGNRA lands in the future. We are heading into the home stretch of this lengthy dog management plan process and need your help more than ever. So, where are we now? Currently, the GGNRA plans to release their dog management draft rule in early fall of 2015. This will outline the new proposed rules restricting where you can walk your dog on or off leash and where no dogs will be allowed. In some GGNRA lands, where dogs have had off-leash privileges for many years, our dogs will no longer be allowed at all.
The GGNRA is solving for the visitors who go to a place like Fort Funston or Crissy Field and experience a lot of dogs and don't want to have that experience. I think that it is critical that the GGNRA and San Francisco residents solve for the biggest issues first. And those priorities are balancing open space management and preserving this beautiful spot with the needs of residents. And of those residents, many of them are dog guardians who use this place. So that needs to be the priority for solving first. Not is a visitor from a state halfway across the country going to come once in their lifetime and may or may not like dogs on the property. So I think we have to solve for the biggest issues first, and that is having access to this beautiful area.
Once the draft rule is released, we strongly encourage each and every one of you to read this document and submit your comments to the GGNRA. The burden of proof is on the National Park Service to provide scientific basis to make significant changes for dog walking access in the GGNRA during this environmental impact review process. To date, NPS has proposed very restrictive changes to these areas, but we believe that these proposed changes are not based on science or legal merit, but on the GGNRA's inability to recognize that this is an urban recreation area and the dog walking is part of this ongoing recreation activity. This is not a typical remote backcountry national park and should not be managed as such. According to the GGNRA's planning website, the anticipated schedule for the release of the draft dog management rule is as follows. This timeline may change, and we will continue to keep you informed.
Well, this issue has been a little bit like the frog in the warm water that's beginning to boil, and we're getting to a boil. And once this decision is made, we've lost this area, so now is the time to act. This is the time to reach out to SF Dog and Crissy Field Dog Group in Montera or Eco Dog, but go someplace and start getting information if you want to continue to use these beautiful places, because once it's gone for good. Now's our chance to act.
The Crissy Field Dog Group will also provide talking points on our website, on our Twitter account, and our Facebook page. We ask you to please help us preserve these lands and our rights for recreation by submitting your comments and concerns about this dog management plan rule and asking your friends, family, and neighbors to do the same.